Sometimes in life, we meet people who look absolutely calm from the outside, but if you sit with them for just 5 minutes, you realize they are carrying mountains inside their hearts. Sometimes life takes us on roads we never planned to travel. You think you will walk your journey with someone by your side, but destiny quietly changes the script, and suddenly, a woman who always imagined companionship finds herself standing alone. But what amazed me over the years is this: when life removes someone from a woman's journey, it doesn't leave her empty, it leaves her stronger in ways she never expected. I once met a woman who had gone through some of the toughest situations life could offer. She raised her children alone, managed her home alone, made decisions alone. When I sat with her, I noticed something extraordinary. She wasn't bitter, she wasn't angry, she wasn't defeated. There was an elegance in her silence and a dignity in her strength. She had learned that being alone was not a punishment, it was preparation. People around her would sometimes whisper. Society is quick to judge, especially when it sees a woman standing without a husband. But society never sees the real story. It doesn't see the tears she hides at night. It doesn't see the courage she gathers every single morning. It doesn't see how many times she falls apart, but still gets up because someone depends on her. Life knows her truth, even when people do not, and what is truly inspiring is that she didn't allow her circumstances to define her identity. She didn't allow her struggles to make her bitter. Instead, she allowed them to make her wiser. When someone asked her how she managed everything alone, she smiled and said, "I discovered that I can do far more than I ever believed." And that is the beautiful reality: challenges don't create strength, they reveal it. Being alone taught her self-respect. It taught her emotional independence. It taught her patience, responsibility, and clarity. She learned to make decisions not out of fear, but out of purpose. She learned that sometimes the strongest companion a woman can have is her own inner voice, and once she stopped waiting for someone to complete her, she realized she was already complete. What many people misunderstand is this: being alone does not mean being lonely. There are countless people surrounded by others yet feeling empty inside. But a woman who accepts her journey and embraces her inner peace is never truly alone. She walks with confidence, with grace, with a heart that has survived storms and still knows how to stay gentle. If you look closely at such women, you will notice something beautiful. Their strength is never loud. It's quiet, steady, and unshakable. They don't boast about what they've been through. They simply continue to walk forward, carrying themselves with the dignity of someone who has conquered her fears. And if you are one of those women, remember this: life hasn't left you alone. Life is building you. It's shaping you into someone extraordinary, someone whose strength comes from experience, whose wisdom comes from pain, and whose courage comes from standing even when the world expected you to fall. Keep walking. Your journey is not a story of being alone. It's a story of becoming unstoppable. Life has an interesting way of teaching us lessons we never asked for. Sometimes it does not announce the next chapter. It simply turns the page. And for many women, that new chapter begins with an unexpected silence, the silence of being without a partner, without the presence they once depended on. But what I've observed is that this silence, though painful at first, slowly becomes the space where true inner strength is born. There was a moment when I spoke to a woman who had gone through years of challenges. She didn't complain, she didn't blame, she didn't regret. She just shared her journey with a peaceful acceptance. She said, "Life didn't give me what I wanted, but it gave me what I needed to become stronger." That wisdom struck me deeply, because it's true many times life's greatest blessings arrive disguised as difficulties. A woman who stands alone is not a symbol of weakness. She is a symbol of timeless resilience. She handles responsibilities not because she wants to prove something to the world, but because she has no choice but to rise. And in rising, she discovers parts of herself she never knew existed. The courage she develops is not loud, it's not showy, it's steady and pure. It grows quietly, like the sunrise that doesn't make noise but still changes the entire sky. We often forget that solitude itself can be a powerful teacher. When a woman spends time with her own thoughts, without the noise of dependency, she starts understanding herself more clearly. She sees her strengths, acknowledges her flaws, and discovers her own voice. She learns that peace is not given by another person, it is created from within. And once that peace is found, no external situation can take it away. But the world, of course, doesn't understand this journey. People easily make assumptions. They see a woman standing alone and think she is incomplete. They see her without a companion and think something is missing in her life. They forget that a person's true completeness does not depend on who stands beside them, but on who stands within them. A strong woman stands with herself, and that is enough. The beauty of her journey is this: every challenge she faces becomes a stepping stone. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every hardship becomes a story of growth. She doesn't allow pain to break her, she allows it to shape her. And with every step forward, she proves that strength is not given, it is developed. It is not inherited, it is earned through endurance, faith, and perseverance. If you meet such a woman, you will notice something inspiring. Her confidence doesn't come from perfection, it comes from survival. Her calmness doesn't come from a smooth life, it comes from overcoming storms. And her kindness doesn't come from a life free of pain. It comes from understanding pain deeply enough to choose compassion anyway. And if you are walking this path, remember, being alone is not your identity. It is simply a phase of transformation. Life is not closing a door on you. It is opening space for you to grow into the person you were always meant to become. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and trust that every step you take alone is shaping a future filled with strength, clarity, and inner peace. Life often gives us responsibilities before it gives us support. It tests our strength before showing us our true potential. And in many cases, a woman discovers her deepest courage not when everything is going right, but when she suddenly finds herself standing alone. What amazes me is how life, in its quiet and mysterious ways, turns these moments of aloneness into moments of tremendous personal growth. I once listened to a woman share her journey, and her words still echo in my mind. She said, "When I lost the person I thought would walk with me forever, I lost my world. But little did I know, I would soon find myself." These words reflect a truth many people never realize. Sometimes life removes people not to break you, but to reveal you. A woman who stands without a partner carries a weight most people can't even imagine. She becomes the decision maker, the protector, the provider, the emotional pillar all at once. She wakes up every day knowing that everything depends on her, yet she doesn't allow fear to slow her down. She may not show it, but every small step she takes is an act of courage, and that courage doesn't come from the absence of pain. It comes from her refusal to give up. What we often fail to see is that her strength isn't something she wakes up with one morning. It grows little by little, through experiences, challenges, and silent battles. It grows when she wipes her tears and continues. It grows when she faces a problem she never handled before and learns how to solve it. It grows when she realizes she can be independent. Strength like this is not taught, it is discovered. People may look at her and think she is alone, but if you look deeper, you'll find she has developed a companionship with herself that is stronger than any external support. She learns to listen to her own needs, trust her own decisions, and value her own worth. That inner companionship becomes her greatest power, because once a woman learns to stand alone without losing herself, she becomes unshakable. There is a quiet dignity in her struggle, She doesn't seek sympathy. She doesn't announce her sacrifices. She simply keeps moving forward with grace. And that grace is not a sign that her life is easy. It's a sign that she has learned how to carry herself through difficulty without losing her softness. The world might see her without a partner, but life sees her as someone who has risen above circumstances, someone who has turned wounds into wisdom, someone who has transformed pain into purpose, and that inner transformation shines far brighter than any relationship status ever could. If you are such a woman, or if you know one, remember this: your journey is not a journey of emptiness. It is a journey of evolution. Life is not punishing you, it is preparing you. Every challenge is shaping you into someone stronger than yesterday, wiser than before, and more resilient than you ever imagined. Keep walking with faith. Your strength is not accidental, it is earned, and it will carry you toward a future filled with clarity, confidence, and peace that comes from truly knowing your own worth. Life has a beautiful yet challenging way of revealing the true depth of a person's strength. For many women, this revelation happens in those unexpected phases where they find themselves walking without the partner they once imagined would always be by their side. These moments of aloneness feel heavy at first, almost like standing in a room full of echoes. But slowly, something remarkable begins to happen. She starts finding herself in places she never looked before. I once heard a woman share her experience, and she said something profoundly touching. I thought life abandoned me, but it was actually guiding me toward parts of myself I had ignored for years. Her words reminded me of a truth life keeps whispering into our hearts. Sometimes what feels like an ending is simply life clearing the path for a new beginning. A woman who stands alone does not rise because everything is easy. She rises because she refuses to let her circumstances define her. Every morning she gathers strength not from the world, but from the quiet determination inside her. She learns to make choices that protect her peace, safeguard her dignity, and support her future. She becomes her own advisor, her own caretaker, and her own motivator. And though she may not say it out loud, every step she takes is backed by immense courage. Society often looks at her situation and makes assumptions. People say things like, "She is alone," without realizing that she may be more emotionally grounded than ever before. They do not see the inner battles she fought to reach this point. They do not see how many nights she spent questioning herself, only to rise the next morning with renewed strength. They do not see how she learned to smile even when her heart was tired. But those unseen moments, those quiet, invisible victories, are what make her extraordinary. The beauty of her journey is that solitude becomes her teacher. It teaches her patience, resilience, and inner clarity. It helps her understand that validation from others is temporary, but validation from within is lasting. She begins to choose herself, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. She realizes that waiting for someone else to bring happiness is like waiting for rain in a desert. Instead, she learns to create her own oasis. What inspires me most is how such women evolve. They transform pain into power, hesitation into confidence, and solitude into strength. They stop seeking permission to live fully because they understand that life itself has already given them that permission. They stop depending on external support because they discover the incredible support system within their own soul. And if you are one of those women, or if you know someone walking this path, remember this: being alone does not diminish your worth. It reveals it. Life is not pushing you down, it is lifting you up in ways you may only understand in hindsight. You are not walking empty, you are walking empowered. Let your journey continue with faith, because every step you take alone is shaping a future rooted in strength, wisdom, and deep inner peace. Life has an interesting rhythm. It sometimes removes people from our path not to weaken us, but to awaken us. And for many women, this awakening happens when they suddenly find themselves carrying responsibilities alone. At first, it feels like the world has become heavier, the days have become longer, and the nights quieter than ever before. But slowly, something deep inside begins to rise, something she never knew existed within her, an unshakable inner strength. I once came across a woman who had gone through years of standing on her own. She didn't ask for sympathy, she didn't seek attention. She simply lived with a kind of steady courage that spoke louder than any words. She told me, "I didn't choose this path, but I chose to walk it with grace." That one line captures the essence of countless women who discover resilience not by desire, but by necessity. They learn to walk alone, but they never walk without purpose. When a woman faces life without a partner, she is forced to confront realities earlier than others. She becomes the decision maker, the emotional anchor, the protector of her family, and the guardian of her own dreams. And what's inspiring is that she does all of this without complaining. She may have fears, but she also has determination strong enough to carry her through those fears. She may feel tired, but she still shows up every day because she knows someone needs her, and she knows she needs herself even more. People often misunderstand her journey. They think being alone means she is incomplete or unlucky. But they fail to understand that a woman who stands alone is not defined by absence. She is defined by her ability to rise. They don't see the strength she has built silently, the tears she has wiped privately, and the battles she has fought courageously. They don't realize that her solitude is not emptiness, it is transformation. She learns to trust herself. She learns to set boundaries that protect her peace. She learns to listen to the voice of wisdom inside her. She understands that life doesn't always go according to plan, but that doesn't mean life stops being meaningful. In fact, some of the most powerful chapters of her story are written in the moments when she chooses hope over despair, healing over bitterness, and strength over fear. What touches the heart most is her ability to remain kind despite everything. She could have become hardened, but she chooses compassion. She could have lost faith, but she holds on to it even tighter. She could have stopped dreaming, but she continues to dream, this time with more clarity, because she now knows her worth is not dependent on someone else's presence. And if you are walking a similar journey, remember this: life hasn't left you behind. Life is shaping you. You are not standing alone because you are weak. You are standing alone because you are capable. You have survived storms that others can only imagine. You have learned lessons that make you wiser. And you have built a strength that will guide you toward a future far brighter than the challenges you have faced. Keep walking with confidence. Your story is not of loneliness, but of a remarkable inner evolution that continues to make you stronger every single day. If you are a woman going through life alone, remember this: you are not alone because you are weak. You are alone because God knows your strength. Gold is not kept in ordinary boxes, it is kept in strong lockers because it is precious. And you are precious. Stand tall, keep walking, keep believing. Your story is not a story of loneliness, it is a story of unstoppable strength. Thank you.